Hey everybody, this is Doomhammer, and this is the last of the League Leaders videos. So we had the 2014-2015 season. We've already done the passing and receiving leaders. So now let's get to the rushing leaders for this past season in the 32-team franchise. Number 40 is rookie Carlos Hyde. He had 79 rush attempts and 415 rush yards. Pretty slow rookie campaign, but he was behind a few others in the depth chart before him, and that led to less activity until later in the season when he started to get more carries. Next up at number 39 is David Wilson with 428 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns, and 79 rushing attempts. So with David Wilson, we see the exact number of rush attempts, and he is the second running back for the Titans with behind Jonathan Stewart, who we will see a little bit later in the video. Then we've got a surprising drop here for Clinton Portis, falling to number 38 in this season. He had 453 rush yards, 4 touchdowns, and he used to be, he still is a premier back in this league, but he is now 33 years old, going to be 34. He's going to get some interest in free agency, no doubt. However, he's on the waning part of his career. And mid-season, the Jets traded for LeSean McCoy, actually gave up a first-round pick to land him from the Green Bay Packers. McCoy, 26 years old, superstar, 92 overall. Portis is still a 83 overall, and he could have been the lead back for the Jets this season, but making that trade gives the New York Jets a younger prospect, and thus Clinton Portis' workload was diminished. Then there's Adrian Peterson. Now, Peterson also is a running back that is typically in the top 10, top 5, but he was injured this season. He missed about 10 games. Then he got injured again, so only 467 rush yards for the elite running back Peterson. And yes, he is a Dallas Cowboy. My franchise was drafted there, has been there ever since. He's 88 overall, and the Cowboys were dealing with Deji Karim and James White, the rookie, for the majority of the season, and they went to the NFC Championship game, so they did pretty well despite missing Adrian Peterson. Then we've got running back number 2 for the St. Louis Rams, coming in at number 36, Mikel Leshore. He's in his 4th season out of Illinois. He had 473 rushing yards, 89 attempts, and he actually had 18 receptions, so he was more used as a receiving back primarily. I mean, he still got some good attempts there. I guess 89 rush attempts is nothing to shake your head at. But Ben Tate was the main running back moving forward. Then we've got the first of what will be 3 New Orleans Saints in the top 40, or I guess top 35. Kevin Smith, the running back, with 607 rushing yards, so good for him. 4 TDs, 42 rush attempts. So the veteran, he's 27 years old, but he's been in the league for 7 years. I guess I'd count him as a veteran. Did all right, except for the fact that the Saints were a 5-12 team. But he does come up pretty solid here with number 35. Then we've got the third-year man out of Miami, Lamar Miller. He was drafted to the Pittsburgh Steelers, rushed for 528 yards. Honestly, he's been kind of a letdown because he's like an 80 or 79 overall. He's a pretty solid running back in a lot of overall categories, but he just doesn't run that well. I had other running backs with Pittsburgh, who I felt did better when they were handed the ball. But of course, if you have a 79 overall, you want to give it to him and not these 63 or 51 or 71 overall running backs. So Miller took most of the carries, 109 attempts, but has just been okay. I mean, he's 23 years old. There's still a lot of career left in him, but he ranks at number 34 on a team that has an aging Ben Roethlisberger, so we'd expect to see more dynamic play by the running back, and that's not really what we get from Lamar Miller. Then we've got Shane Vereen, and he is one of 2 Oakland Raiders in the top 33. He got 571 rush yards on 116 attempts. He got a decent number of receiving yards as well, because he's been, between him and Sean Green, we're kind of jockeying for the number 1 running back spot this season. Some games, he was automatically put into the starting lineup because he's a 76 overall. I liked Sean Green as the lead running back, but he is older. He got 29-year-old Green and a 25-year-old Shane Vereen. So we'll see if Vereen gets some more opportunities in the future at being the lead running back as opposed to maybe more of a dual running back sort of system they ran in Oakland. Then the guy who is not Trent Richardson, his name is Tim Hightower, wearing number 33 for the Cleveland Browns. He is star dev, 79 overall. He's been in the league for 7 seasons. He was with the Eagles for a while, then he bounced around to trying to be a starting running back. I believe he was in St. Louis for a year or two or a couple of years. Didn't do much there, but Cleveland decided to take a chance on him since he was like an 83 overall at the time he was signed. And I also really turned up running back regression. So like when they hit that 27, 28, they start regressing a little bit faster because I want to see running backs, and especially older running backs, decline at a faster rate just because I got some old running backs who've been around for far too long. Speaking of Sean Green earlier, here he is. So 593 rush yards. He had 88 rushing attempts, and that was actually less than Shane Vereen, who had 116 on the previous 2 slides. But 88 rush attempts for him, and he ran for more yards, but he had significantly fewer receptions and receiving yards, kind of more of a primary running back as opposed to a receiving back. Then we've got rushing leaders like quarterbacks, like Russell Wilson, who got 603 rushing yards this season at quarterback on 58 attempts with 6 touchdowns. He was doing fantastic this year, and it was unfortunate that he got injured in the wild card round because it would have been interesting to see how he would have gone up against the Philadelphia Eagles instead of Ryan Fitzpatrick, because it could have been the Dallas Cowboys getting their ass kicked by the Miami Dolphins, but we will never know. And not too far away from number 30 is number 29, who is also a quarterback, Michael Vick, who rushed for 607 rushing yards, 9 rushing touchdowns, almost to the double digits. And Michael Vick did not even play in every game. I mean, he was, non-existent until like week 7, and then he kind of coasted to the end of the season from there. But Vick has always been reliable with his leg. But again, they were 5-12 as a team, so didn't do too well. I do believe he's 34 years old. He'll be 35 next year. Him and McNabb are known for their mobility, but when you're getting that old, you don't have that mobility. So I might have to edit some of their speed and just try to tank that down a little bit, because 97 acceleration for a 34-year-old quarterback is a bit extreme. Then we've got Noshawn Marino. He came from the Cincinnati Bengals to the Arizona Cardinals, rushed for 680 yards on 132 rush attempts to help the defending Super Bowl champion Cardinals get back to the playoffs. He was ahead of Beanie Wells, LaMichael James, Dexter McCluster on that Cardinals rushing attack. Keeping it in the NFC West, we've got Ben Tate, number 27. We saw Mikel LaShore earlier, but Ben Tate was the lead rusher for them with 713 yards, 128 rushing attempts. We see 9 rushing touchdowns, and he got a little bit of action there in the receiving game too. He was with the Carolina Panthers before in their dual back system, and this time he was able to be the lead back on the St. Louis Rams. Then we get number 26, Arian Foster. Foster came over to the Chargers after his career started with the San Francisco 49ers. One of the reasons why they were so successful earlier. But he was injured twice this season, 3 games here, 4 games there. He rushed for 742 yards. He did get 12 rushing touchdowns, over 100 yards receiving on 144 rushing attempts. He is still a 90 overall, 27-year-old, so he's got a lot of gas still in the tank. And one of the reasons why the Chargers do so well, unfortunately, they just can't seem to advance far in the postseason. So we'll see if they can fix that this offseason to better equip themselves for a Super Bowl run. Then at number 25, we have the rookie Devonta Freeman. Freeman is 22 years old, 77 overall right now, and he's been the rush leader for the Bengals. So they had a new quarterback in Derek Carr, a new running back in Devonta Freeman, helping them go to a 10-7 record to really mix things up in the AFC North. We'll see if that success continues in future seasons. Then we've got Isaiah Pead, He rushed for 106 rushing attempts. He's the third New Orleans Saint to be in the top 40 or top, I think, 35. He had 6 rushing touchdowns, so it was kind of between him and Kevin Smith. Isaiah Pete is 24 years old. They also have like Edwin Baker, 23, and Joseph Randall, 22, and then Kevin Smith, the veteran, at 27 years old. So they have a decent running back core. We'll see how long they kind of stick together, or how Pat Shurmur does. Like if they have another losing season, he's out. He could also be on the hot seat mid-season if they do if they have a really rough start. And then we've got the former Steeler running back and now San Francisco 49ers, Maurice Jones-Drew, MJD. He had 752 rush yards, 146 attempts. He was used frequently in the passing game. You see 19 receptions there, 238 yards. He's 29, will be 30 next year, and the undersized running back, he's likely to hit the free agency market. He was traded to a few years ago from Pittsburgh to try to give the 49ers sort of a replacement for Arian Foster, and he did all right. He was good for a few seasons, but a 29-year-old turning 30 running back who's undersized, 5'7", I believe, where is not really the future where they're trying to rebuild right now. They have Dion Lewis, who's 23. He's been a pretty good receiving back for them. Not really an all-down back. They've used Antonio Pittman, the former Ohio State running back. But again, he's 28 now. He'll be 29 next year. He's not bad, but he's a 74 overall, and you want better than that, especially when you're trying to get a solid running attack. Then in his second season as an Eagles running back, Giovanni Bernard, the former 32nd overall pick in the draft, gets 766 rushing yards, 8 rushing touchdowns in his first full season as the starter, because he was splitting carries last year a little bit with Frank Gore, and then Gore was moved, and then Bernard has been taking kind of the carry since then. He is 22 years old. He's paired with Alfred Morris, who is really low overall. He's a 68 overall. I thought he was a better running back in real life than where he's rated. And then George Atkinson III, who's 23 years old, rookie. And he played a role. He got a touchdown in the Super Bowl, but Bernard actually had some great moments this season, and I look forward to seeing where his career kind of pans out. Then we've got Le'Veon Bell, the running back for the Atlanta Falcons in his second season. He's a superstar running back, 22 overall, or 22 years old, 85 overall. Yeah, he's not 22 overall. And he was injured for a lot of the season. That was really rough on Peyton Manning, who kind of relies on that running game, especially when he's 37, 38 years old. As you can see, 26 receptions and 303 receiving yards. 4 receiving touchdowns out of those 26 receptions. So clearly, Le'Veon Bell is going to be catching a lot of passes, screen passes. So he had over 1,000 yards in total yards, just only 770 with rushing. If he were healthy the entire season, we probably would have seen him as a maybe top 5, top 10 running back. Then at number 20 is one of the premier backs in the league, C.J. Spiller. We know Spiller in real life was with the Bills. In this franchise, he's been sort of the explosive, elusive back with the Houston Texans. The 27-year-old who's been in the league for about 5 seasons from Clemson is an 88 overall. Got 774 rush yards, 6 rushing touchdowns, over 350 receiving yards. A pretty solid running back here for Houston, and a pretty difficult running back to stop in this league. Then at number 19, we've got DeMarco Murray with a star running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He rushed for 786 rush yards, over 300 receiving yards, the 6 rushing touchdowns, which actually feels kind of low. But nonetheless, he had 6 rushing touchdowns. He's 26 years old, will be 27 next year, 83 overall, likely going to test the free agency market unless Jacksonville can bring him back. But he's been a pretty solid contributor to that playoff berth that Jacksonville surprisingly had. Then at number 18 is the 24-year-old Mark Ingram II. He's 85 overall, power back. He's got 789 rushing yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, a little bit less receiving yards than some of his colleagues around his same kind of ranking. But he's been a solid contributor to the Chicago Bears. He's backed up by Justin Forsett and then Isaiah Crowell, I guess not undrafted, but Crowell was drafted by, I think it was like the Cardinals, and they had so many running backs and moving parts that they just ended up putting him on practice squad, and then Chicago snagged him up. So the 21-year-old Crowell might be someone I'm going to try to get some carries to later on in his career, because he was a Cleveland Brown in real life, and I remember watching him play, so trying to see if he can get any sort of spark in my franchise. Then we've got Doug Martin for the Minnesota Vikings. He's in his third season, 793 yards, 9 TDs, only 75 yards receiving, so a lot less than the others. But he's been the primary running back for the Minnesota Vikings. He's paired up with RG3 as his main guy, as his main quarterback, so they make a pretty good duo. Then we've got Jamal Charles at number 16. He's at 797 yards rushing, only 3 shy away from his 800-yard mark. But what you'll notice is he got 505 receiving yards. He's kind of a main receiving back for Tom Brady. In his career, he has over 2,000 receiving yards in 6 or 7 seasons. He has been a 1,000-yard rusher 3 out of those 7 seasons. And then we've got the Baltimore Ravens with Donald Brown. Now, what really hurt their rushing attack, despite the fact he had 835 yards on 152 attempts, 13 TDs, is that I started off with Ray Rice, and this was the season when he beat the woman in an elevator or whatever that garbage was. And so I suspended him for the first 2 games, then noticed that the Ravens ended up just releasing him anyways. So I followed that same history. So they had Donald Brown, who's an 82 overall running back. He's 27 years old. He's been in the league for 6 years. I know, if I can talk. He was with, I think he was with the Cardinals before. I forget. But he's went to the Ravens and ended up being a good choice for them to have 2 80-plus running backs, as Ray Rice is. Then we've got the bruiser Marshawn Lynch, who's 94 overall, 28-year-old running back for Seattle. He's been with Seattle for a couple seasons now. But he is somebody that I expected more from, honestly. He is such a good running back, but he doesn't really have that many good seasons. He was with the Kansas City Chiefs during the Eli Manning years, and he had a couple 1,000-yard rushes. He's had 1,000 yards his first season in Seattle in 2012 to 2013. Then that dropped to 729. Then it was only 848 this year and 10 rushing touchdowns. So he once had 19 rushing touchdowns and 1,600 yards with the Kansas City Chiefs. But he's kind of been just, and I don't say mediocre or average, because he's been pretty good. 848 yards, 10 TDs. He's had a good run here in Seattle, but he isn't really the same beast mode that I remembered him in real life. So he's good, but he's not as legendary as he was in real life. Then the Detroit Lions have Felix Jones with 856 rushing yards. Now, he got a lot of yards this season because Reggie Bush ended up going down with an injury, and that it was a broken something, and he's out for 30 weeks or 36 weeks. He only played 5 games, Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush had 249 rushing yards. So he was a primary running back for many years, a solid starter, but now he's got that injury, which is probably going to be a major reduction in his productivity as a starting running back or as any kind of running back in this league. Kind of like what happened to LaDainian Tomlinson, who had a gruesome injury, and I lowered his injury, so he's more likely to get re-injured. I lowered some of the agility and speed, because that's what normally happens when you suffer an injury this gruesome. Then we've got Andre Brown, who was acquired in the trade with the New York Jets. And so the Packers gave up LeSean McCoy and got Andre Brown in the first-round pick. And Andre Brown almost ran for 900 yards with them. 161 rush attempts. He caught for over 300 yards as well. So he did a pretty solid job as a 27-year-old, 77 overall running back, normal dev, to help the Packers really turn around their season. Because after they made all their trades to get rid of their talent, to acquire draft capital, they just started going on a tear, winning games, and just being the 9th seed, almost kind of cracking into the playoffs there. Then we talked about David Wilson before. Now we've got Jonathan Stewart, the other running back for the Titans, rushing for 924 yards, 8 TDs. Pretty solid contributor, 86 overall. Titans have a lot of good pieces. They just weren't able to really make any real moves this year. Tavares Jackson is stable at quarterback. Stewart is a solid runner for them. But, they had a good rushing attack, the 11th ranked rusher and someone in the 30s. So that's not bad for a team that was 7-10. Then we've got Jeremy Hill at number 10, cracking our top 10 list with 970 rush yards and 13 TDs. Jeremy Hill is on a team that normally had two running backs. It was like Larry Johnson and Lorenzo Booker. Then it was Lorenzo Booker and Ben Tate. Then it was Ben Tate and Jeremy Hill. And then it was Jeremy Hill and Christine Michael. So they've always had like a dual running back system, but this year it was much more of a primary running back in Jeremy Hill, and Christine Michael was sort of a support role. Still got some carries, but not as much as like they used to do. Like they're kind of the culture I try to create in Carolina. Breaking the top 10 is a quarterback, Terrell Pryor, who had 991 rushing yards and 10 TDs. Terrell Pryor did win Rookie of the Year because he rushed for over 1,000 yards in his rookie year. Just insane, very talented. Cleveland landed a guy. I didn't expect them to do it. And here he is. Sometimes his throws and passes aren't that great. And if you saw in the passing video, he's not highly ranked in pass yards, but he does make up for it with his rushing attack. So I mentioned it before, but LeSean McCoy rushed for over 1,000 yards. I think some of those yards are when he was with the Packers, but he still had a 1,000-yard season. 14 rushing touchdowns. He had 350 receiving yards. He's likely the future running back for many years, or at least, running back years. I guess they're like dog years. They only last for so long. But he is going to be a pretty solid contributor for the Jets, especially paired with Alex Smith, Percy Harvin. Who else do they have? They got like Antonio Brown, Jarius Wright, Mercedes Lewis. I guess Mercedes Lewis might be a free agent. We'll see if he sticks around. But solid running back, and a solid running back this season and for the future. Then we've got the Super Bowl champion, Matt Forte. He joined the Miami Dolphins to win a Super Bowl, and he was able to come through and accomplish that. Forte was originally drafted to the Atlanta Falcons. In his first 4 seasons, he had over 1,200 yards in each of those seasons. So like 1,291, 1,417, 1,357. He had a 1,000-yard rushing season last year with Miami. He was with Miami 2 years ago with 859 yards, and now he has another 1,000-yard season. 17 rushing touchdowns. The man's crazy. Number 7 on the list is nothing to complain about, and just fantastic. Gives that 1-2 punch on that Miami Dolphins team. Then a surprising number 6 is Mike Goodson, and he's not surprising for me because he's been this running back throughout this franchise, but it is probably surprising for many of you because Mike Goodson in real life didn't do much. I think he was with the Panthers. But then in my franchise, he consistently runs well for the Commanders. He was low overall when I drafted him, but he was the best running back and he was young, so I just ran with him. And he's now an 85 overall, 27 years old, and in his 6th season. And he's just a star dev, and so I stuck with him. So they've got like Bryce Brown, Charles Sims III, probably some practice squad guy, Matthew Tucker, but 1,100 yards for Mike Goodson, who's been a very consistent running back in this entire franchise. Another surprise is Trent Richardson. So, I just kept giving him the ball. With Brandon Weeden, it didn't work out too well. But now that he's got a better quarterback in Blake Bortles, I don't know if I would call him solid, I guess. He's 72 overall. He had a good season, taking them to 7 wins, which was progression. But Trent Richardson is the lead back, and he's been doing his thing in Kansas City. This is, 3rd season? Yep. And so 81 overall, 24 years old, ran enough with him to get those dev trait boosts. And here he is, number 5 in the league in 3 seasons. Then we've got ourselves Ryan Matthews, who's been one of the league's best and most stellar running backs with 1,300 yards this season. He's been in the league for, this is his 5th season, and every year he's always had 1,100 yards or more. Rookie year, 1,500 yards. He was Rookie of the Year. 1,151, 1,647, 1,495. Actually, this was one of his weaker seasons in the past 3 seasons. He's got 13 rushing touchdowns. He also gets involved in the passing game. So the Giants have a solid contributor on offense in Matthews. It's just trying to get a solid quarterback that maybe isn't Matt Barkley to be their guy. Then we've got Darren McFadden. This guy is just lights out. He's been in the league for 7 years, and every year he's had over I think the lowest was 1,328 yards, with the exception of one season when he was injured. He had like 416 yards. But 1,500 yards his rookie year, 1,300 the next, his injured year, then 1,780, to over 2,000. 14, almost 1,500 again in 2013 last year. And this year is actually one of his lowest in the past 4 seasons. He has 31 receptions. He can catch it. He can run it. Just a dynamic running back who is fast. He's quick. And he's been just so elite for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another guy who has really developed and kind of exploded after his kind of unsuccessful stay with the New England Patriots, where he didn't rush very much. He had, like, his best season was 324 yards in New England in 2008. And then in 2011, he went to the Denver Broncos, and he has rushed for over 1,000 yards every year. So he's been dynamic. I don't know why he's as good as he is. I just think maybe as I hand him the ball, he's at like 212 attempts. That could be why. Maybe I just don't trust Sam Bradford that much. But Ahmad Bradshaw gets it done. He's our number 2 rusher in this list. Then we've got Chris Johnson, the number 1 rusher in my league. And he's like 9,700 yards in his career, 1,453 yards this season, 13 touchdowns. He once had 24 rushing touchdowns in earlier seasons. Always rushed for more than 1,000 yards. So he's someone that is pretty much unstoppable. He breaks away, he's gone. So it's sad that the Colts had such a bad season this year. They were a 4-win team, I believe. And so here they are with the number 1 rusher in Chris Johnson despite such a weak season. So thanks for watching the video. We've got some off-season content coming up. Looking forward to those videos. So subscribe if you want to see more content if you haven't already. Like the video. Share it with your Madden friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.